day in the life of an average public transport user in Singapore. Using buses and trains to get to your destination. What the average Singaporean may not know is that we, polytechnic students, pay adult fares. Some of us may be of the same age as the typical JC or junior college student, but we pay 80% more than them. Why, you may ask? Because we are considered tertiary students.
Some poly students are actually people who have finished national service, they're working. So I guess in that sense it's quite fair, but if I were a poly student I also would make noise.
It's pretty unfair. Unfair.
Not fair at all, it's still a business. So if they have already subsidized the JC students, then and they are still giving poly students concession, they still have to earn
the same
age.
Same age, it's not like they're already working. Poly students don't get a chance to work part-time. Their courses are just as demanding as those in JC. There shouldn't be double standard.
We should share the same fares. We would like them to
enjoy the same concession rate. They should be treated equally.
Because we are still students anyway.
Poly students are not taking the issue lightly. Protests are plenty, seen in school forums and discussions, in letters to newspapers, even the Speaker's Corner. For those of us who are under 18, we are not allowed to do many things, such as driving or voting. Yet, when it comes to public transport, we are treated as adults. The unhappiness has spilled over onto cyberspace. Complaints flood discussion forums, blogs, and of late, social networking websites such as Facebook. Some have taken it a step further. They started online petitions. One such petition is the National Petition for Fairer Transportation Fares for Polytechnic and Tertiary Students.
Hi, my name is Bernard Chen. One comment on this campaign: I don't mind giving up my tertiary labour for cheaper fares.
Hi, I'm Kamilul Ashraf. One comment about this is $97 per month is too much for bus and train concessions.
Yes, we do consider writing in based on what we have planned for or proposed, and we are trying to achieve this critical mass of signatures, and upon which we will actually submit it to the Public Transport Council, Ministry of Transport, the Government Parliamentary Committee for Ministry of Transport, members of Parliament, and even to the Prime Minister himself. So this is a serious and a concerted effort at trying to ensure that we get a fairer deal.
Second thing is to present our proposal to the Public Transport Council to see what can be done. We want to have discussions with them and improve the situation.
The petitioners have since written to the authorities with their proposal of revised fares and are currently in anticipation of what will be happening in the coming days. Will there be a light at the end of the tunnel? Of late, there have been talks of public transport operators lowering their fares. Will public transport fares for poly students go down as well? Only time will tell.
This issue isn't new, but the rookie reporters felt strongly about it, especially since it hits their pockets.
So you guys came up with this topic. Tell me what made you think about it and why it inspires you.
Basically, we have been bothered by this problem since we entered Polytechnic, and we have spoken with our peers, and then we went online, and then we coincidentally discovered an online petition, many online petitions actually, that are related to asking the authorities to adjust their fares for the students, but there have been no standard replies from the authorities as to whether they would do something about it.
Because online petitions still lack a little credibility, whereas and the reach for the video is bigger, so we can raise more awareness.
By raising more awareness, we can also gather more support from the public through this petition.
Poly students are generally all mostly unsatisfied with the current fares they are paying, but it's not like we can boycott the public transport like buses and MRTs in general, because they form a staple in Singaporeans' lives, all our lives, and if the authorities were to remain silent, it does affect their corporate image in a way.
The two public transport operators, SBS Transit and SMRT, declined to be interviewed. SBS Transit even directed us to the Public Transport Council, knowing full well that regulating concession fares is not its function. However, SMRT did explain via email that concession fares are subsidized by full-fare-paying commuters. If poly students were to enjoy higher discounts, commuters would have to bear the costs.
If you could put yourself in the shoes of the bus operators, what do you think their rationale is for making the fares different for JC students as opposed to Polytechnic students?
All along, the answer we have been receiving is just because we are choosing an alternative academic route that we pursue. So that's the reason we are paying extra.
And another reason that I've heard from people is that because our school fees are heavily subsidized already, that's why we are paying the adult fares.
There is still hope that change will come. With recent news that transport fares will go down, students are hopeful that their actions will finally see results. But this is not the first time Polytechnic students have turned activists. 4 years ago, Kin Wee and IJournalist created a similar online petition to present to the public transport authorities. Back then, they managed to garner 28,000 signatures, but the numbers held no sway with the operators.
We first contacted our Transit Link around March 2005, and basically around that time, our Transit Link replied. So this petition was sent in right after we created it. So it was a leap of faith. We didn't know what was going to happen.
Of course, they didn't see any success, as concession fares have remained unchanged since 2002. But with the latest news that one of the current petitioners has scored a meeting with TransitLink, which administers concession fares, they harbor hopes that this current batch of poly students can strike a fair deal.
There are a lot of people who actually have problems economically, financially, and they have no way of expressing, or they don't know how to express. And doing this will be stepping up to help them. There's no harm in trying. If you don't try, you don't get anything at all. If you try, at least you know you've tried your best, and that is what we'll settle for.
To see something more direct being done, like a decrease in concession fares for Polytechnic students, that will be the final and most desirable outcome.
And finally, some cause for cheer. Shortly after our filming wrapped, our rookie reporters informed us that SPS Transit is working together with the Public Transport Council to reduce fares for commuters, including tertiary students. So clearly, online activism played a part in bringing about this change. Well, that's all we have for you today, but give us your feedback and other comments at IJournalist@channelnewsasia.com. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again next week.
Channel News Asia, a network of Media Corp Private Limited.